Yep.
Yeah. Also, it makes your lane quite predictable because essentially we're gonna see like a tiny safe lane, and then you know you could plan around that.
Why not Pebbles mid?
Pebbles mid?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get out lane by Shadowfiend.
Yeah, because now unless you throw Lion in mid, like a line up on the top as a solo, that's the only other way to do it. You need a bigger lane controller than Lion in mid. Because you're not going to zone out the SF with that.
The sad thing is we're probably going to see Lion mid. Like, Fnatic, they always run something mid.
Honey does it.
Yeah, he does Lion mid. Yes. Except Bruno, he doesn't run mid when he predicts lanes.
I put 3 people on the
jungle. Jungle. Welcome to aggro try. Welcome to full-on aggro try. Undying, SD, and a Mirana pickup. Early control is one fissure. If that goes wrong, they're losing people. They're losing people bad.
But thing, like one fissure is all you really need, right? Like you block people off, and that's pretty much it. So
as opposed to with Notal's recent games too, we trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is
seconds remaining.
It's still a big question mark if Fnatic actually have enough stability in their lineup to survive like early Undying harassment, and then into what's going to be like a low strength hero. The death profit for Hani. So he's actually going to be a support Lion. Rascal can celebrate.
Again, though, I'm a big fan of Shadowfiend versus the Death Prophet matchup. Not in lane. I think Death Prophet have the edge there. But in terms of mid-game right-clicks, Shadowfiend is one of those heroes that just like, yep, I'm going to stick on you, I'm going to right-click, and you're going to get killed. Okay. I don't think they have issues dealing with the zombie house, considering that once the Acceptor comes up, Era's going to hit it in 2 hits, and everything dies, you know? I just think that Shadowfiend is very well matched in this particular lineup against what Fnatic's got. But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, people get to roll out to their lanes, and as far as the aggro tri lane goes, I'm not seeing the guys move directly north. Because at this point we do have Mason preparing himself for the off lane, but PPD he's just planting down a ward here, but they're not moving up to plant some aggressive wards to see what Fnatic are doing. Because I thought maybe they would come up, look for like a semi-level level 1 fight, and then try and plant a ward up on this north lane behind the tier 1 tower. It's just not really happening at the moment. So Fnatic, I think they can keep control of this top lane quite easily. They just have to have Mason a little bit more. Oh wait, what is this?
30 seconds to
Swift Rage indeed. I mean, now you see a mid backstab.
Wait,
guys.
Wait, that shouldn't even be happening anymore.
Is that the guy from Monsters Inc? Like, yeah, that is actually him, right? Okay.
No, but is it meant to be a ward looking for the backstab of the mid courier?
No.
Or is it just because I thought that wasn't possible anymore to actually screw that up? Because they changed the hotkey for it.
Right, but if you didn't get the memo that they changed the hotkey for it, you just put it down on the ground like that. Yeah.
Well, in this case, one ward's wasted, and the other ward's watching the bottom rune, so they have no potential to put an aggro ward behind the tier 1 tower and see what Fnatic's movement is up there. So they're basically doing this top lane blind.
Yes. For Fnatic side, they have a ward right in the lane. That's nice. Notal's been doing this 3 games in a row now, just putting a Quelling Blade and just cutting basically a pathway of freedom to himself for multiple avenue of fissure traps. He essentially... Here's the thing, it's really nice if you're doing it against a solo offlane because you could grab the fissure and then essentially it gives you the kill. Whereas against a tri-lane, especially a tri-lane that has a Mirana with the leap, you're not really going to accomplish much. So I think the Quelling Blade investment in this game might not really pay off.
I'm kind of with you on that one, man. I want to watch that bottom lane too, because right now it seems like Trixie, like Mr. Boots first, is not zoning out Universe completely, because obviously Universe having the stick to start with, knows he can at least have like some burst mana and regeneration coming back his way. But Trixie right now seems to really be controlling Universe out of this lane.
Using that boost speed to his advantage, forcing him away and perhaps getting a couple denies. Batrider really winning this lane. We don't think Puck's gonna die here, but we've seen some crazier things happening in 1v1.
Yeah. Normally he shouldn't die.
Yeah.
But when you're still only level 1, you don't have a phase shift available. Like you got to time your orb properly to get yourself away from those attacks, and sometimes you got to cut that a little bit short. And that's when a Firefly Batrider can just chase you down.
Yeah, he's got 2, so he's fine now. In terms of the spell that Undying's getting for this...
It's not going to stop Trixie from having a crack at him, though. He just lights the ground on fire and just tries to force out phase shifts or orbs.
He could chase after this orb if he wants. He does have the boots. In fact, he will. Phases down. We might see the... No, he's not. No creeps here.
The Firefly is also running out. He's got 10 stick charges behind him.
Yeah.
So at least he can do is just burn down the wave, so Puck has to try and battle under his own tower. Yeah, look at Trixie. He's actually taking it all the way back to that tier 1 tower too.
Meanwhile, on the top lane, it looks like we have a creep cut to the left, getting themselves a little bit of experience. Are they going to make it go? Yes, in fact, they will. They have a lot of creep going on. There's a fissure, but it blocks the creeps. A rare mistake from NoTail. Generally, he's quite good in it. US East server, perhaps? Not sure.
We're playing US East again.
Okay.
That's one of those things, man. Like, a fissure can make it or break it for you.
Yeah.
And in that case, it broke it. It could have been the death of PPD straight away, but then again, it's really difficult to kill off an Undying in the early stages. Like, he was up at around 850 life points when they initiated him on that point. So you throw the fissure out, and it's more like a nibble on the heel.
He probably would have got like a 2-3 man decay off before he died, and that would have gave him like, I don't know, 100 more HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NoTail is still waiting in the tree lines. If EG is up for this, they could actually try and scout it out. I'm actually kind of surprised they're not looking for this, because NoTail's been making a very big habit of late to do this kind of stuff, like with this little like railway track out the back to Path to Freedom kind of thing. Yeah, now PPD is looking for it, because they've got to look and see where the fidgets are coming from. I don't want to say it's worth putting an observer ward up in the lane, because obviously they wasted one beforehand, and that would just be really cruel. But if they could have one close that could keep tabs on where the Earthshaker is moving, it's well worth it.
Well, the thing is, he's spent so much time in here. It's like a rat sewer system. He is... Yeah, he's got the map of that thing down. Meanwhile, Zai is just walking through the line.
You notice on bottom lane, Trixie actually got zoned out of the lane. He's having to go all the way back to base. He purchased up a bottle, but Universe was able to find just a couple of good orbs to harass him out. So Universe got control back at that bottom lane. And it's now going to take the experience advantage too.
Actually, Zai's going to have sight on NoTail. If he fire off that disruption, the arrow's definitely going to guarantee a go. If with Dying, coming in with the Tombstone, they should be able to get the kill. It's a Tombstone level up here for PPD. I apologize, I kept calling him P. Diddy last game. He's pretty Doug, I know.
Really?
Yeah. No, not really. Like, PPD is as far as Doug as it gets.
I like how all these creeps getting confused on the top lane with the fissure. Just like blocked them up, so they all just stood there for a moment looking at each other, because obviously the way the new fissure works.
But they're gonna get the creep deny that they want, so...
And how's RTZ looking to mid? Because right now his CS is really not being contested at all. He's got a haste rune up his bottle, so he's quite comfortable in that middle lane. An attempted gank would just fail, because you just run him out. But he's walking around with 1,000 gold now, 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. So it looks like we're going standard RTZ.
Yeah.
It's Hand of Midas, movement in front, but who really comes out on top of this mid lane? When you've got RTZ getting a lot of money up his kit, and then he gets a Hand of Midas as well, can Hani keep up with the presence this Shadow Fiend's going to bring?
I don't think he can, and that's actually the beauty of the EG Shraff. They might look like they're running an offensive trial lane, but if you look at it, they're getting a great deal of experience because the pull to the left, and because you're running an offensive trial lane against Fnatic, it basically traps the Fnatic support on the top. And if you're not ganking an SF that's beating your mid laner, you will never actually win that lane.
Speaking of gank, man, you got SF with that haste rune. He's coming down for Trixie. Now, Trixie tried to go already over-aggressive on Universe. Dream Core's going to be used, and Trixie will be held in position. This will be your first blood going the way of EG.
Yeah. It's a great draft coming out from EG. They basically win every single lane after that one gank, and of course, Shadow Fiend with the haste rune, he's not even losing any time going back to the mid lane. The top lane is getting a lot of farm on Mason. And Mason, despite being only level 3, he has the killing potential whenever that Shadow Demon gets that disruption off.
And Hani's trying to force it in the middle lane. Like you say, like nothing is really lost for RTZ. That's why Hani threw the ulti out to see if at least he can do some damage to this tier 1 tower in mid. But for the negligible, like 129, 131 damage, sorry, it's so negligible it makes no difference whatsoever. And now SF, 6 minutes in, has Hand of Midas.
Yep. First Blood will do that for you. He's already got the boot, so he's not even a naked Midas. At this point, RTZ could look towards to stack the big camp if he wants to and accelerate his farm. Any case, if you don't send Gang Party to the mid lane, RTZ will destroy you. And here comes Fly. But Fly in itself, making this rotation is very dangerous because, well, your top lane suddenly don't have a range support now, dealing with the possible dive coming in. And if you look at the farm on Era, he's got 12 CS. He's not going to give you that big farm that you really need him to have.
Doesn't help too, the fly and smoke rotation. He's done the full loop-de-loop to come in towards this middle lane, hoping to probably find Arteezy just sitting a little bit too far up in that mid. But he's checking out the cams, looking to see when Arteezy is going to come down. But Arteezy already farmed the easy cam, so he goes down a little bit deeper anyway. So he's not finding anything for this rotation out.
If he actually shows himself to do this observer ward right next to the mid lane, like he could just straight up.
How far are you going to walk down for that one? All right, so it's just in this little line here. So if he walks inside that box, he'll show himself.
Okay, he's actually going to block the stack. That's cool.
It's only going to stop Arteezy to a point.
Yeah.
Like, this could actually just bite him in the ass the other way. Like if Arteezy gets his camps blocked up, his next thing is just rotating out to kill. Because if he can't find the farm like efficiently, that's the only other thing he would do.
Okay, these two supports are very, very close to each other. The disruption being forced out, so Catcher is going to miss as well. I mean, even if they got the disruption off, the fissure would have thrown off the arrow timing, so probably would not have worked. But here's the thing though, EG doesn't need to do anything on the top lane. They're winning all of the lane games.
There's a fissure, avalanche, disruption actually coming after, trying to protect Mason from that attack from Era.
It's fine, yeah. They don't need to do anything. They're slowly, passively winning the game. This is kind of the scary thing about EG. They're out-drafting their opponents, so you have the players that can outplay their opponents. This team might look pretty scary coming at TF4.
I think Zai found that little path up there which allows him to get through the rear. Now PPD, he's underneath the tower, puts the tombstone down, they have to use the fortification. And Notel, he's really can't make up his mind right now. He's got mana, well actually he's got a stick charge which he could use to get the fissure up and running, but there's just no reason to go in there and kill. Like you put a Soul Rip over on Era, who's now being surrounded by the undead. Mason's looking for a position to get that arrow off, but they're bringing in some extra help. PPD, he's actually blocked off by the fissure while Trixie, he's going down for Zai, is going to disrupt him up, but Fly, he's rotated over on PPD. The arrow comes up, miss on everything, and there's going to be a toss-up. PPD will go down to the Earthshaker, and Trixie, who now does have Lasso, is trying to catch up to Mason. Leap is off cooldown though, so they won't get the kill on the Mirana.
Win for EG. Maybe I'm a little bit EG biased here, but the fact that Hani was forced to rotate up top, never got to the fight, Arteezy getting some precious damage on the tier 1, meanwhile on the bottom lane, Universe getting free farm with the face boot and getting damage on top tier 1. And then you have Byrider, who came in for the kill, but didn't even get it, so not much going towards his lane.
Might have another one. Era disrupted up right now, Catcher as well on top, and the arrow hits perfectly. PPD just decays him up. The support is nearby, but it can't save him.
Yeah.
The Lion just can't do anything to save him in that position unless all three EG players line up for an Earth Spike.
So I feel that right now EG is utilizing the map a lot more. The hero just gives them a lot more. And here comes what I call a catch-up Midas. So with the Midas, he will be able to keep up with Arteezy. Death Prophet is one of the few heroes in the game that can flash farm as quickly.
Tunnels are being used against him, man. PPD's got to drop this tombstone. Notar with a fissure, lassoing Trixie back, lassoing PPD back up again. With Nexus, 4 heroes being committed to kill off PPD. And he will go down. But Mirana takes the tier 1 tower, and the bottom tower is down to 300 life points at the moment.
Notel's like almost died to a zombie trying to kill off the tombstone. Not bad. I mean, they really needed 4 to actually kill him. Here comes the mid lane. Arteezy is zoning Hani away from the lane. Yeah, if they don't change the Undying just gets a 4-man decay off, and you're not killing him.
Bottom lane, can he get the denial off Hani? He attempted it, but Puck gets the last hit. So that's already 2 towers in 10 minutes that have now gone the way of EG. That injection of money has actually shot them up to about 6,000 gold advantage. Doesn't need the experience at this point. It's just getting those big items up already. Like Arteezy's running Hand of Midas, and now 10 minutes in picks up the Ogre Club too. He's got plus 1,000 life points. And where's your damage coming from right now? Right now, it's actually only the crop.
Yeah. The thing about Crobolus is she doesn't necessarily need level 11 because every point into Witchcraft helps her damage output by a pretty significant amount. But once she does get level 11 and you have like a Lasso, a Hex, and a Fissure, yeah, you can actually kill that Shadow Fiend, BKB or not. So they have the damage output. The question is, what is keeping Hani alive? Because right now, Hani has 900 HP, 4 armor.
Schmuck.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Fissure, but that's pretty much it. Hani really needs an HP item, maybe a Yule Scepter.
They're going to jump on Zai right now, but what they don't know is Universe is also coming up with that Blink Dagger. He get a 3-man coil, which he will do so. Follows up with the silence on Notel. Orb hit on Fly as well as Notel. Is he going to orb himself away from this one? He just gets the kill. It was the Puck Goldie triggering out. Then Mason comes through with the Starfall. Fnatic lose all 3 on top lane, with the SD disrupting himself up to protect himself at the same time.
doing more with less. I mean, the coil coming in, the blink dagger already online, and on the bot lane, Trixie finally going back to the bot lane and perhaps pressure the tower. They're not really getting any trades favorably. I just want to say that Fnatic yesterday played out of their mind. Today, the first game against Alliance, insane play, but it feels like in this game, they're just getting severely outclassed.
No, they're not finding the key items to like push into it, and there's no real plan B on this one. The Batrider Blink Dagger is a plan A. Now they jump in middle lane.
Yeah.
Hani with the Rift. He's got himself an Invis rune. Guess raise 1, guess raise 2, but both falling stray off. And Universal just TP himself out, feeling he's a little bit too deep in.
If you're EG, you're like, okay, we missed a kill, that's fine. We're gonna get some damage on the tier 1, and eventually they're gonna break that tier 1. That's gonna open Roshan up for EG if they choose to do so.
It's meant to be the other way though. Like
Yeah.
you've got a Crob ulti over on Fnatic with the Batrider Firefly and an ES Fissure block. It should be Fnatic being the ones to bring down Roshan first. But they can't do it when the tier 1 tower is lost.
Yep. And meanwhile, because the top lane has done such a great job shutting down Era, now that he's got free farm, it's catch-up free farm. It's not, you know, where's his point booster? Where's his drums? He is so far behind compared to the Shadow
Puck
Fiend.
is trying to catch up to Trixie right now. Dream Coil is available, he's going to use it. So Trixie just tries to TP himself out of this one. SD can't reach him for the disruption. He's too far on the other side of the river, so Zai could not reach. And a smart TP back out to safety by Trixie this time around.
I think he would have been fine if he walked up to the dragons as well, but breaking the coil under Ancient Camp may not be the best idea.
Not the safest thing in the world.
But again, you know, like, if it really happens, it will allow Era to catch up. Tiny is not exactly the fastest, you know, flash farmer if he doesn't have mana, which he won't have mana. But he's getting some waves.
Notel's waiting in the tree lines. An aggressive observer ward just got planted down there by PPD. So you can at least see up towards that high ground. And PPD, he's moving in towards the middle lane. Now Hani, with the totem stomp, the Fissure's going to go. He's on the other side of it for now. And they're looking to block in Arteezy, and that did actually work. So they throw out the ulti and the stun too, but they can't see him. And you can't kill what you can't see. Even then PPD, though, he's a little bit too close, copping off with the Crypt Swarm. Arteezy comes out every now and then. The Moonlight Shadow protecting him, and Hani just evaporates. And they've got more support coming in. Notel looking to blink out and TP out, but now he just gets basically attacked up by Arteezy. Lasso dragging Arteezy down inside Roshan. He's not going to like too many people fussing around on his lawn, and he's beating on Arteezy. Batrider will get the kill because of the Firefly. That's now 3 for 1 more. Back up in the middle lane. Era being hunted underneath the tier 2 tower. The Cactus on him and a lot of damage flying his way. Stick Chunks will keep him alive. He's got Toss available, and they're trying to hit him with the poison. The attack from Mason will finish the job, but he cancelled his TP for that Flame Break, pushing him further away. And Notel, he can't keep up with him. Trixie blinks the wrong direction. The orb comes in from Universe, and that's a DD puck. Brings down the Earthshaker. They throw some sticky napalm, but that's 4 EG heroes who have the high ground. Fnatic will not pursue.
Yeah, EG right now just have the much better early game fighting hero. Their cooldowns are much shorter. They're a lot more mobile. And as a result, the slow, clunky heroes of like a Lion, an Earthshaker, and the Stone Giant, or the Slow Giant, whatever, like they're not keeping up. And these easy kills under the tier 1 tower, they will destroy the tier 1 mid as well. Right now, EG is up by 10,000 gold in 15 minutes. That's kind of a scary stat. Now, normally we talk about, you know, who's got the better carry, but when you're down by 10k gold, it's how well can you play catch-up. I think Fnatic has a very good base defense lineup, thanks to Crypt Swarm, as well as Fissure, and perhaps the initiation of Batrider. So they can turtle on the high ground if needed. But
if they get caught out, if EG actually get over the stairwell with a tombstone down,
right,
they could just rip Fnatic apart. But Fnatic have to keep him out. Like, it's just got to be Fissure every single time.
It's going to be a Dagon build coming out from Universe, and I think these are probably the best game to actually go for that Dagon rush on Puck. After your blink, you're already winning very hard. You know, the enemy carries are not even getting defensive items to start with.
Do you think like Lion's his primary target?
Sure. I mean, in fact, anything. Like Earthshaker, if you could remove him before he casts his Fissure, that's a great gank.
The main reason why I said Lion is because this guy's walking around with stuns and hexes. Now Dream Call from Universe, Dagon's on the Lion, and then he orbs in to follow up with the Rift. The arrow connects on Hani too. The ulti is up for him though, so Universe will melt to that, with Trixie getting a good lasso off. The Moonlight Shadow again being used here by EG to protect themselves as Mason attacks in the middle of the ultimate of Hani. And Arteezy sits on the back end with his freshly done BKB, ready to force down the mid, realizing Hani's exorcism will now go on to cooldown again.
Yeah, but for Fnatic, that's a great trade, a lucky one for them. They traded a core for a support. Unfortunately for Fnatic is that their supports are so poor. I mean, they're playing greedy supports already. Both of these supports want a Blink Dagger, but because of Moonlight Shadow, they're forcing out a lot of early game investment in terms of Sentry and Dust. And Fly has one, but he should pass one to No-Tail, but because both of these supports are so squishy that if one of them bursts it down and Moonlight Shadow's up, they can't go for a second kill. And that's exactly what we saw in that previous team fight.
Yep. EG. They realized too, like, okay, you lose one fight, let's just move out. Arteezy's going to move up towards the top lane. He had a hand of Mars he had to use anyway, and then Flash farms up to 1600 gold. Where would you actually go with Arteezy's item build from here? Did you want to, like, rack up the physical DPS, or would you go even more slightly defensive in this?
I just want to go get items that are effective now. So Yasha comes to mind, speeds up his farm, speeds up his base killing ability by having better attack, faster attack. I personally like SNY quite a bit in a situation like that. Just go back to the point of the Dagon on Puck. Just kind of early mid-game items.
There's a trap on bottom lane being set. Now, Mason thinks he's the one setting this up by putting himself so far out. But just the way that Era is playing is just so aggressive for where they are in the current game that you kind of know that there is heroes hovering around looking to jump in the cover of smoke, especially Trixie, and this smoke's now wearing off. It's too late. If he can get himself to the other side of the tree line and not spot it out, maybe they still have a chance to make this work. While up on top lane, pings are coming out saying, why isn't SD able to walk this far into our side? There's a leap in. Oh, he got himself caught in the tree line. The Dagono has already killed off the line. Now they're both actually caught almost in the trees. Universe finds a way out. The arrow's connected on Trixie, and now Undying comes in. Ulti plus Tombstone, and he's caught here. He can't move anywhere because the Dream Coil holding him in position. And now Universe is able to grab himself a double kill on that bottom lane. That Lion, he didn't even survive. He's thinking maybe at one point I can get level 6 to use my Finger of Death and then get revenge on Universe, but there's just no opening at the moment.
Yeah, at this point that Dagon has won them the fight. I mean, if he had an ultimate orb on Puck, they weren't going to burst down Lion before him cast a single spell. And casting a Hex might have turned the tide of that fight, but Dagon doing its work, forcing out with 2 kills essentially, and a tier 2 tower. EG's not doing anything flashy, they're just making the better rotations, they're having the better draft. Here comes No-Tail. I'm not sure exactly trying to do what, but...
He's just trying to keep the creep wave off the tower for now. Just so they can deal with it a little bit more, because the tower is basically almost, in fact, it's 16 points off being in deny range. Just in case Fnatic were going to try and force it. Because Mason right now is looking so damn fat. What's coming on the courier? He's already finished up his Maelstrom, 19 minutes in, having drums, Ring of Aquila, everything. And why is Zai still capable of doing this on the top lane? He's so far up on the top. And it's like, hang on. Actually, can they kill him with disruption? Like Hani were coming in, you have to get a silence straight away.
I mean, they probably can if they have 2 or 3 hero going for a Shadow Demon. The thing is, if you kill a Shadow Demon, that's great. You're probably risking 2 or 3 heroes in doing so, and if he gets off a Demonic Purge...
They're coming mid. Yeah. With the Moonlight Shadow, Tombstone down, Dagon working, Dream got a hold in there, and the Undying just basically fists him down. At the same time, they lost Tiny up on the top lane, and the SF being partially responsible. Zai is the one who takes the kill.
I mean, this match means a lot for at least Fnatic, because if they lose this one and Alliance wins their match, I think that means Alliance is in and Fnatic is out.
With Alliance, you never know.
Yeah. And they're playing
Fnatic,
Rockets,
we never know
so, yeah. Well, also the Na'Vi match not being here, we also would not know.
Some details to be filled out.
Yeah.
Trixie's able to get the denial on the bottom tower. This Mason left it a little bit low because he was just worried about that Blink Dagger initiation in. And right now, that much amount of gold, it doesn't phase EG. There's 16,000 gold in front right now with only 1 remaining outer tower of Fnatic's to remove. How, at this point, Fnatic basically need, like, they can't even go for Roshan.
No.
Like we say, right, they need an Aegis more, they need the levels of money from Roshan. They basically need EG to walk themselves into a 5-man avalanche, into a 5-man Earth Spike with an Echo Slam on 5 men with a double creep wave.
Toby. All right.
Hey, I'm looking at potentials, man. I'm looking at potentials.
I mean, I don't think that's going to happen because EG would not walk 5. But what can happen is perhaps like a pick. And Fnatic's going for that. Because the creep wave is so forced out,
the only hero they're looking to pick off right now is the damn SD.
It doesn't mean much. And Shadow Demon's got a Force Zap. He might just outrun this entire Fnatic gang squad.
He's
Can he get off the site or the Yules? No, he's out of there.
Nope.
There goes that gank. That's a 5-man smoke gang, and they're not farming.
And double sentries too.
They just don't have the gold to make these kind of ganks. That was a 300 gold investment, and none of them are getting farmed.
G will move in towards the mid lane. Final tower, which is already too low on life for Fnatic to defend, and their fortifications only just coming off cooldown. That's not... Well, actually, they say it's worth it for the tier 2 tower. The arrow is already having a bit of a surge. So I'll see no tower quickly, but now Zai 4-staff, he almost got that disruption off onto Hani. Actually, I don't know if he was looking for disruption or purge at that point.
I just want to say that I think at this point, EG could essentially 3v5. 3 of their heroes could walk up their high ground Fnatic, and they would win a fight. I think all they need is a Dream Coil, a Tombstone on the ground, and a BKB Shadow Fiend going into like right-click stuff.
It was a more defensive one, like Lincoln Sphere and BKB on that SF.
I mean, here's the thing, he's so far ahead that he doesn't need anything else.
Yep.
Like his damage comes from his level advantage. Like this is the game where the Pinoy build will work. I call the Lincoln's BKB the Pinoy build because that's all they do.
So look for the 50-minute game. Hani, Dream Call on him right now. Notal waiting to fish around so he can hit on Universe, but he waited too long. The Dagon's already killed off Hani. Trixie lassoing one back, but he has the disruption. They threw on the Sentry Ward, so Notal, he just tries to clear it up with the Echo Slam. He's got nothing left in his kitty to throw out here. Era's doing some decent work, but at the same time, he's having to run himself out now. His combo is dry. Trixie's still here in the middle lane. Hex over on Universe. They force-staff him away and then save him. And Fnatic have to go back up towards the high ground. They just lost 2 so quick.
That was the best fight that Fnatic could have taken because they know the Shadow Fiend just poured a top. So it's essentially a 4v5 without basically the greatest net worth member. All 16,000 of them.
Silence too far away.
Yeah. And they couldn't win that one. So I think Hani hasn't actually used his Yules to keep himself alive yet. He needs to ult and Yules and let his team distract for him. Can they get Arteezy? They really can. He's got that BKB. They really need to lasso him back with the 4-staff available, which Trixie does not have. He's very close to it. If he gets 1 creep, the 4-staff, perhaps they could kill Arteezy under the tier 3, but they just call it GG.
They call it before the fight even begins, so 23 minutes, 30 seconds in, and now they get themselves a double stun and a follow-up from Trixie with the fissure. But the GG happens at the end of the fight, so sub 24 minutes, EG will take the victory over Fnatic.
Yeah.
And Fnatic, they really got, like, it was outplayed and outmaneuvered, I kind of want to say, from the very, very start. The one thing which looked really good